Saint Clement I is the patron of marble workers. His feast day is on November 23rd. He was born on 35 AD in Rome, Italy. For most of his life, he was a disciple of Saint Peter and possibly Saint Paul. Nothing was really known about his family. Later on in his life, taking the role of the Pope of the Catholic Church, living a holy life and praising God during tragic times. He would pray for women and men that were in need. Even though he was suffering, he would pray for others. He thought it was right to pray for the people in need instead of himself. During this time, Rome was being taken over by a sedition, which is kind of like a rebellion. So Saint Clement I had lost his power of being a pope and was condemned to work as a marble worker. While he was working as a marble worker, he suffered a lot because the only water that was available was 6 miles away from the marble quarries. So he suffered a lot. So he lacked water most of the time and was really thirsty whenever he was done working.
Oh, so thirsty. If only there was some water.
Don't worry, God is with us.
Oh, get out of here, you ugly Christian. Your God isn't real.
I will pray for you.
No, get out of here. Your God isn't real.
Although he would suffer a lot as a marble worker, he would pray for the others so they can have water. One day at the marble quarries, he saw a lamb digging in the soil, giving him a sign that there was water nearby. So he went and walked over to the lamb, and where the lamb was digging, he saw water flowing. And so instead of walking 6 miles for water, he got a miracle from God.
Dear God, I hope for some water. I've been working really hard. I'm really thirsty and I'm really weak.
That's perfect.
One tragic experience that he had in his life was a lack of water at the marble quarries because water was only available 6 miles away. And so he did not want to walk 6 miles away because after he was done working, he was really thirsty and he was not going to make it for water because it was a long way to get to water. And so he would suffer a lot after working and would just get tired of walking 6 miles. And one day he prayed to God and actually got his water. The unique experience that he had was seeing the lamb digging in the soil because at that moment he knew that that was a sign of water being nearby. Later on in his life, he was drowned and died around the early hundreds AD. He lived a God-centered life throughout his whole life, praying for the people in need, for women, men, and would also try to convert pagans. Although they refused to convert, he would keep trying, no matter what, to convert people. Not only would he pray for the women and men in need, but he would also pray for them, although he would suffer a lot.
At last, St. Clement I was a God-centered person because he cared for the others, which were his enemies, most of the time his enemies. When he was in the marble working place, the people working with him were pagans, and they did not really like him at all. And with the grace of God, he had the power to help the others, and really, with the power of God, empower himself as well, and become a great saint, being God-centered. So thank God that he's such a God-centered person that he brought into the world. Amen.